Hi everybody, it's Sam Lewis here from the Pageant, Shine and Bright Pageant channel on YouTube, and we are working on trying to give you information on different pageants around the UK to see which ones you would like to have a go at and find one that's suitable for you. So today we've got the lovely Donna Hanks here with us from Miss Britannia Crystal, and she's here and she's going to tell you a little bit more information about it, and you can decide for you if this is something that you would like to do. Hi Donna, are you okay?
Hi, you okay?
Yeah, so how long have you been doing Britannia Crystal for?
The first year was last year, and of course the second year should have been last August, but obviously being in lockdown, it's now been postponed to Saturday the 3rd of July next year, 2021.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Lovely. So what made you decide to become a director or create this? Did you create this pageant, or is it like a branch off another one? You created it.
I created it on myself.
Why did you decide to do that?
Well, Jessica has been in pageants now for almost 6 years. She's done well from day one, but I've been in pageants 5 years now, and I've always tried to find some like national pageants rather than international pageants, although there are very limited amounts of national pageants out there. And for those like myself, you tend to feel that international pageants are a little bit too much for you, that you're not quite ready to go international. Some might never be ready for internationals, but they try it because they like the system. And I just found, well, you know, there's only certain amounts of national pageants. I mean, I wouldn't want to go international because I'd find myself a little bit overwhelmed with all the hard work and everything that goes into there. And I had done charity pageants before anyway. It was a case of, well, you know, it would be nice one day to have a national pageant, maybe to have my own queens to be proud of and everything, because I like being part of a team, sisterhood, and when I'm in a system, and I would like to be like a mother figure, obviously like a director figure to my own queens. And after chatting to some people that had tried, it's not a bad way of trying several pageants. Obviously, if you don't win one, you either go back or you go to another system to see what's best for you. And I talked to a few people that didn't actually have that win. And I basically asked them, well, what would you prefer? And mainly it was a case of a basic pageant, you know, a national pageant that was quite basic. So that's why I created Britannia Crystal. Because mainly you can do appearances if you want to. You do have a finalist sash, part of your entrance fee, basically. Yeah, as a package. You do have the finalist sash, but you don't have to go out if you don't want to. But obviously, before lockdown, there were several pageants at any one time, on probably 2 or 3 per weekend. And it's just nice to have like that group photo that you have in every pageant that you go to support. So I thought, well, if you want to do that, then that's fine. Put it on your page to show that you are working towards a system. And there's no award for it. It's one of them personal preferences. And again, charity isn't essential. You don't have to if you don't want to, but the overall charity winner will get a title. And they can parade in that if they want to, but again, it's not essential because our queen who won last year, Fran, she is our team winner, so obviously she would rather go out in her team sash than her charity sash. So yeah, but if there was somebody that didn't win on that particular time with their charity sash, it is an option for them if they want to, which I'm quite happy to give or take. So obviously if that person wanted to go into a different system, I'd be quite happy if they wanted to do that because it's not contracted. Again, interviews have always been a big thing for me. I like talking. I know you do. We do have a laugh and we do tend to get ahead of each other, and 2 minutes is never enough for some people who like to talk. But interviews, I find it's not how you talk about things, it's what you have to talk about that
bit of sustenance.
Yeah, it's what's beneficial to what the judges want to hear. But I thought for the littler kids, it's a big deal for an interview. And when Jess applied for Face of the Globe a few years back, which is it was her second pageant at the time, when she went to register, she was given a question that she was going to be asked on the stage a few hours later when the pageant was going to take place. And I quite liked the idea of that because Jess was 8 at the time, and it gave her an opportunity to have a think all day for her answer. and everybody got the same opportunity as well. It wasn't just the tinies and the juniors, it was everybody throughout the day. And it was just something like, you know, it was different. It was, because I think Jess's question was, what would you do if you were stuck on a desert island with your mobile phone? And we
peace and quiet, we'd say.
And I was thinking, for an 8-year-old, that's one hell of a question to
Yeah,
try and
yeah.
answer. And I went there with Gemma Pritchard and her daughters, and she came up with the answer for my mum to come and get me. And we couldn't, I said to Gemma, I said, if we can't think of anything else, would you mind just using that? And she said, no, that's fine. So we couldn't think of anything else. She gave that answer on the stage, and she did draw a little laugh.
Yeah,
and me and Gemma looked at each other. It was like, yeah, it was probably the better answer. But it gave her the opportunity to have a think about her question.
Yeah. So it's not just all, and she's learning, it's not just all about looks and, you know, pageants are very much about the whole person. And I don't think a lot of people get that, do they?
No. I know some people a little bit are shy of a microphone on the stage. But 9 times out of 10, if you go to a charity pageant, even you get my name is, I'm in your junior category, blah, 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 blah. So I thought if that's the case, that was going to be beneficial to the Queens instead of an interview, I would rather take that road where it's more of a basic pageant. You don't have to be sitting there all day. You don't have to think about your interview outfit. You can just come to the pageant. It's the day is basically like a charity pageant, only that it's in the evening, and obviously we have an opening round.
Would you say it's like an introductory kind of pageant?
Yes.
It's ideal for anybody who's looking to get into pageantry.
Yeah, anybody that's looking into getting into pageantry, somebody that's been out of pageantry for a long time but not ready to quite go back into internationals, or not ready to go to internationals, or it's more of a stepping stone back into pageants or getting into pageants, I'd say. I've tried to make it as basic as possible, so it gives you an idea what to look out for. But mine is a lot more different to others because, like I said, like you say, it's an introductory into pageants itself.
Okay, can I ask you some like quick fire question type things? Let's see.
Oh, go on then.
Not on the spot, not on the spot. Just like ones, I just want things I definitely want to cover in this interview. And one of those things is, where is it based?
Our first pageant was based in Chorley, but I've actually found a better venue, only because the venue that I had, I wasn't expecting so much support, which I was quite proud of, to be fair. Because we had a limited amount of contestants, I thought it would be small friends and family, but it wasn't even the whole pageant community that turned up, because some couldn't even get there. It was quite a lot of people though, and people struggled to find seating, and there was no stage.
To you though, that is, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was quite, wow. Community. Yeah.
I had so many people say, have you got more seats? I'm thinking, no, we haven't got no more seats.
No, well, so they just want to support you, don't they? That's it.
Yeah, I know. I was quite overwhelmed, but I was quite proud that I had so many friends that wanted to support me for my first pageant. I was really overwhelmed. I had a little tear in my eye, actually. It was like, oh my God, so many people are here. But the next year, should I say, I keep forgetting to say this year, but next year I've actually booked a venue in Llai in Wrexham. They have a stage, they have a lighting system as well. It's a lot bigger, shall we say, and it'll probably be a lot better. And if they'll have us back, obviously that's what it'll stay now in Wrexham.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you were to say there was an ethos or an aim of your pageant, like, or charity pageant, what would the ethos be? What's the thing that makes you go, this is what we're about?
It's a beginning to pageants. Like I said, young or old, if you want to start in pageants, then come along to ours. The entrance fee is quite small, because I don't expect. I'm really happy. The prize package for next year is amazing. I've had quite a lot of help from my new assistant director, Rachel Chance. She is my backbone. She has been through lockdown. Obviously, because I've got Maddie, who's 4, she has a lot of my attention. So I'm not always on Facebook. Whereas Rachel, she's very good at videos and creating posters and that type of thing, which I'm not. So she's very good at doing that type of thing. And she has created such an amazing prize package, added to what I'd already it's a bigger venue, it's a better venue, and the prize package is a lot more, and the price is exactly the same, and our ethos is exactly the same. If you're experienced or not, we're open to all, but it is generally mainly for either inexperienced pageant girls or pageant girls that are not ready for internationals yet.
So it's like the little stepping stone. So it's all inclusive, all abilities, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm quite easygoing. Obviously, I don't expect my girls at the moment to go out there and publicise Britannia Crystal. If they want to do, campaigns online that the things they want to take to charity shop is fine by me, but I wouldn't want them to put their health at risk at all whatsoever. So I've had a couple of my queens saying, I'm really sorry, but I've not been able to do anything. To be fair, I've not done anything with my pageant. My girls have not done anything with their pageant. And it is at the moment, unfortunately, our society at the moment, that you are really limited in what you can do. So I don't expect anything from my girls at the moment, but hopefully once lockdown is lifted, shall we say, then it'll be all steam ahead, then ready for next year.
Wonderful. So what categories have you got in your pageant?
I'm having to look at this because I've got a few categories. I've got Mr., which is all categories, but I might have to change that if I have so many of an age variety. I might have a mini master and an older master. Tiny is 3 to 5. Mini then is 6 to 8. Junior is 9 to 12. A teen is 13 to 17. Miss is 18 to 29. And elegant is 30 plus. But we have a new section for next year. Obviously, unfortunately, the international curve went down through lockdown. So we wanted to give our curve ladies a go. Rachel is quite a big supporter of the curvy ladies, and she does support power. What's the word? Body positivity.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the one. She's very big on that as well. And she suggested that maybe it would be a good idea to introduce a curve section, that she, as a curvy lady, she would prefer something like that, again, instead of being against the slimmer ladies. From a personal point of view. So I do take on, obviously, pointers from my queens. It's not just Rachel, that I've had a few pointers from my other queens as well. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? So because it's a new pageant, obviously I'm open to suggestion. But yeah, we've got a curve section starting next year for 18 plus, and they will have exactly the same as everything else. That
just shows how adaptable how inclusive you are, and you want everybody to feel good within the pageant, don't you? And beauty isn't just what you see on the outside. It's things that people are doing on the inside, and that shows.
I would rather a beautiful person on the inside than somebody that's actually really horrid on the outside, to be fair. Any day.
I agree. So if I decided if I was a newie and I came along and I said I want to do it, what rounds would I have to be ready for? And obviously you would support me in telling me what these are, but could you tell us now?
The opening round is quite plain and simple. It'll be black anything. So it could be trousers, jeggings, jeans, leggings, anything black trousers wise. Shoes optional, you can wear what you like. But it had to be a blue, mainly a turquoise blue if you can, but a light blue or a royal blue will do if you like. That'll be for opening round.
Is that for the top? Sorry, is that for the top?
Sorry, for the top, yeah. That would be for the top. So, excuse me. Mainly t-shirts, but if you wanted to wear a nice blouse or whatever, as long as it's quite plain, then that's fine by me. Then you have the fashioning round, which then you'll be given your question as soon as you're on stage. So you'll do your little walk and then you come back to the PA, which again will be Holly Robinson next year. And then Holly would ask you then your question and then you give your answer and then you'd be off to stage. And then evening wear round and that's it really. So
just to back up, but we already know that question, did you say?
Sorry?
Did we already know that question?
You'd already be given that question on induction.
Right.
So induction, really, you'd have your running order so you can give personally, and it'll be on the wall so you know when you're coming in or who you're coming straight after. You'd also have your congeniality list, so you can choose your congeniality. You would also have your question, and you would also have your induction for the day, but obviously there'll be a contract to sign when you win, but obviously that won't be until after you win, so there's no point going through that. But yeah,
that was bringing me to my next question. Is it a
Oh.
contract pageant?
yes.
So can you just
Yes, it
explain
is.
to our beginners what contracted means, please?
Yeah, certainly. Contracted is basically, you can try any other charity pageant. I don't limit any of my girls to how many charity pageants they want to do, because the more experience they have, the better they'll be on the stage and more confident they'll feel. So when they move on, they'll have more experience to try and better themselves into a bigger national pageant or an international pageant or what have you. So I don't limit them at all in any charity pageants they want to enter. But obviously, if it's any title pageants, they cannot enter, obviously, or they will be decrowned.
Right. So how long do they have to have that crown for, and how long do
1
they
year.
have your system? 1 year. And then
1
do you
year.
do a handover?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
it'll be our first handover next year, which I'm quite looking forward to.
So
well, obviously, I don't want to let go of my queens. That sounds so bad. I love
Can you
my
just
queens.
explain to everybody what a handover is?
Handover is when you finish the 1 year title that you have, and you are crowning your successor, which is the next queen.
So you actually get to put that crown on their head.
And that head, yeah. And sash.
Wow. That's
and you get a scepter as well. So
beautiful.
Matching scepters for crowns.
And do you have any of your prizes sorted for this next one?
Yeah, we got quite a few prizes. A few main ones are, sorry, just have a look. You get your crown, your sash, a matching scepter, a sash pin, a sash bag, a certificate that say that you won, earrings from Miri and Envy, a few items from Mermaid Designs, which is, I can't tell you what prize package is yet, because we haven't really come.
Just say lots of surprises, lots more surprises.
No surprises. A winner's photo shoot with Anne Bradshaw, a jacket personalised with your name on it, and Britannia Crystal. A £50 discount voucher, the dress discount voucher from Diamond Couture. There is also Amore products for our winners as well, and some other things that I can't remember. So it is
you're not telling us. Oh, you're not telling us.
No, I'm telling you. They're in the works of being sorted. Shall we put it that way?
Brilliant. And do they get any other opportunities? What opportunities do they get by being crowned? Is there anything else that they get to do or get involved in?
They can get involved in as much or as little as they like. All I ask for my girls is to do a minimum of 2 appearances a month, which is it's nothing really, because I know a lot of queens tend to, obviously before lockdown, I mean, me and Jess were probably doing about 10 a month for the amount of pageants that you were kind of like maximum at 10 a month is probably the case, but we were probably going to pageants every weekend, wherever they were. So 2 a month, I'm not asking much at all, so long as they have fun and whatever they do, and they spread the word of Britannia Crystal.
Wonderful. So you're going to have to limit this down now, because I know it's going to be really hard this next pageant. But what is your one favourite thing about this pageant?
I have to choose one. Oh,
you can do it. You can do it.
I can't. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I've tried to think outside the box and do it as different as I can. That's probably what it is, actually. That is the one thing. It's different than any other pageant. Yeah. The crowns are different. The scepters are different. The prize package, it's similar to other pageants, but as a whole, it's different. Yeah, there's no interview. There's just an on-stage question. Yeah, it's just the fact that it's different, probably.
Love it.
Yeah.
But you're like me. I don't like doing samey. It has to be different. I need to be different. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like to be the same as anyone else.
That with me. I want to be different. It's not to stand out. It's just that obviously people tend to follow on suit to what others are doing, and I don't like being a leader by any stretch, but I don't like to be a follower either. I kind of do my own little thing.
Unique. Unique, yeah. The word, isn't it? You like to be unique. Love it. So by doing pageants, I did a couple of months back, I did lots of videos on this channel that we're on now, about empowerment and how pageants empower people who do them. Could you give us a couple of things, in your opinion, how do pageants empower the contestants if they take part?
Personal side of view, personal point of view, should I say, after having Maddie, she's 5 in February, I can't believe it. When I had her, I had really bad postnatal depression. And doing pageants, it's brought me out my shell and made so many good, close friends in the meantime. You get so much support from your really good friends as well. I mean, without pageants, I knew Rachel anyway, but without pageants, I wouldn't have met yourself. I wouldn't have met Catherine Osmeyer, who's a close friend of mine. I wouldn't have met my queens.
Yeah.
I love my little queens. Everybody knows that I'm already friends with Fran and her family since years gone by. So we keep in touch with them as well. We're the Nutters from the north and the Sillies from the south, and it always has been like that for the last few years. But it's just, yeah, you just tend to make so many close friends. It's annoying because they're so far away sometimes, but it just gives you that warm welcome from different ways of life from other people. I mean, Jess has made a friend when she did one pageant. She made a friend from Australia who she still speaks to now, who's the same age as her.
Wow.
And that was almost 6 years ago now, but she still keeps in contact. Obviously, we've been told if we're ever in Australia to look them up, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But it's just the family orientation of it all, and the power that you can be given. Obviously, it's your choice to be empowered yourself, but the power that you're given and the boost you get from other people who have either been in the same situation or they feel exactly the same as though you are, and it just gives you that oomph and think, well, actually, yeah, I can do it. To be fair, I've enjoyed that. It's really got me out the hole. I mean, I've seen so many people that before pageants, they were very shy. Jess is a classic, actually. She wouldn't say go to a goose or whatever, but then she tried pageants. I mean, she wouldn't, even in a restaurant, if they'd forgotten to put something on a table, I'd tell her, oh, go and fetch crayons or whatever for you to play with or whatever. She wouldn't go anywhere. She wouldn't go to the toilet on her own or anything. But within 12 months, 2 years, she would ask for things. She'd go to the bar for a drink, or, if we went to a restaurant or what have you. Or she'd say hello to people, which she wouldn't do before. It just gives them so much confidence and self-worth more than anything. I mean, because you can be bullied down to high heaven, but inside, you're still you. The pageant land is more, it is a family-based scenario, and everybody feels exactly the same. So you do get obviously the one or two people you don't really get on with, but in pageant world, you do kind of brush it off and just get on with it more than anything. But yeah, I think it's more the self-worth side of things that give you more confidence and what have you in pageants that keeps you going.
It's surprising, isn't it? Because a lot of people see pageants as this, pardon the language, a bitchy kind of place where everybody's dead catty and, putting each other down and stuff.
You do get that in life, so you're bound to get it in pageants anyway, but it's not as bad as people here.
I thought it would be everywhere, but it's funny because when the last thing you think of doing in order to empower yourself is to be putting yourself up on stage and being judged by people. I'm just looking at, people who don't know anything about pageants, the way they look at it. You get judged by people and they say yes or no, whether you're pretty enough. It's nothing like that.
No.
And actually, more that you get out of it from doing it, from achieving something you didn't think you could, from surviving something you didn't think you'd get through.
Yeah.
It helps you grow as a person, doesn't it? And
it
then
does.
It makes you want to push yourself that bit more next time and next time.
It makes you want to progress even more. Yeah.
You get the bug, don't you? You do get the
Oh gosh, yes. I've been so bored of lockdown, it's been crazy.
So next question. Give me 2 pros of being a director and 2 cons of being a director.
Oh God,
these
no.
mean questions. I love
it. Cons. You can set the bar of standard at your pageant.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it like I said, because my pageant is different, I'm quite proud of that. So that'll be one of them.
So
it's your own.
The cons are the bad things. The cons are the bad things. So you're talking about the pros that you can see the boss. Okay, that's a pro. Go on.
Yeah. And then the next thing, when you're part of a pageant family, when somebody else is a director, it's nice. It really is nice. But then you go on to another system and then you get like different pageant systems and what have you. But instead of you being part of their family, you kind of create your own. Yes. Your own little family. So that would probably be the second one for me.
Got you.
Oh gosh, cons.
It's like tiers, isn't it? You get tiers of people around you, don't you? So when you go for this system, that's this, nothing. You let people in your inner circle, and then you'll let people in the next circle, and so on, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Your family kind of grows all the time, which is it's going to be good. Cons.
You struggling?
I am. I think the only one thing is, obviously, we've only had 1 year as a pageant, and I knew after the first one was done and dusted, the second one would be bigger and better anyway. So probably the cons for me would be keeping the same standard.
Yes, I get that.
Because once you've got, because I'm hoping this next part, because I've got loads planned for this. I've had a lot of thinking time over lockdown. So endless calls with Rachel, endless like conversations with Jess and my queens and everything. So it is going to be bigger and better, but the downside to that is how big do you go and when to keep it at a level. So that'll probably be my con, but it's not a con as yet.
But so if you got too big for yourself, then it could actually kill you off trying to organise.
Yeah.
I suppose it's time management, isn't it, for yourself, so that you can go and do everything else that you want to do as well as the pageant and not let it eat you up.
I found one, but it happens to everybody, whether you're a contestant, whether you're watching, pageant hangover.
Yeah. Oh,
I hate the pageant hangover.
I hate that too.
After Britannia Crystal, I was just flat for all week.
Yeah, just explain to everybody what a hangover is, a pageant hangover.
Well, your normal alcoholic hangover, you're lethargic, you don't want to move, you get the headache from hell, probably want to be sick, It's like that without the headache. Well, I know maybe sometimes you'd have a headache, but you don't feel sick at all. You do feel the lethargic, you want to go back, you don't want the day to end. It's like that little girl feeling when you're having so much fun, isn't it? It's like you don't want the day to end.
Yeah, and then when the next day comes and it's all over, it's like,
what now? It's like, what now? What's next?
Did that really just happen? That was amazing. I want to do that every day. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh God, if you win, you're on cloud 9 for at least 2-3 weeks, a month maybe.
Oh, that should be cool. I'm still waiting for that one. I did win once, but then it all fell through and I couldn't do anything with it. So
I won once, but the pageant fell through, and then I won my charity title with Diamond. It wasn't. I'm going to sound so selfish now. It wasn't the title I wanted. Obviously, it wasn't the title, but it was a crown on my head, which I was quite proud of, and I worked really hard to get that charity money. So yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it wasn't contracted after Vegas, but Tina and Daddy were so good to me. I just felt obliged to stick with them, to be fair. And I was so proud that I had the sash and the crown eventually of Diamond after trying for 3 years. It was a case of, right, I'm not taking this off. I got to go out there.
This is mine.
It's mine now. I just wanted to have a little think about what pageant system I wanted next. Then I was adamant, no, I'm going to go back to Diamond, got to go back to Diamond. And the more I thought about it, it was years I can actually go back as classic. And then I mentioned it to Tina and I said, do you mind if I just not come back to Diamond till another 2 years? And she says, well, why in 2 years? I said, I'll be classic then. I won't be against the younger lot. I won't feel intimidated that I'm the oldest in my category. And she's like, no, that's fine.
Oh, bless.
It's a little bit intimidating seeing 20-year-old girls against you and what have you. It's a bit Okay.
It really is. But what you've got to remember is what you've got on paper and what you've been doing. Because like you said before, it's okay looking the part, but can you do the part? It's walking the walk, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So next question. You've got 2 questions left.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we've got advice to competitors. What would you say? Any advice?
Any advice as in what, competing or choosing their system?
If they wanted to take part in yours or anything like that, what would you say to them to, to give them, help them get by and get through it really well? Give them the best chances.
The best advice I could give any contestant really is don't think too much about your walks. Have fun more than anything. Just enjoy the day and don't put too much pressure. Consider yourself to have, if you're a dancer and you have a dance routine, you want everything spot on. Pageants are not like that. They're very much funny orientated. If you do the mistake, as long as you don't obviously trip up, if you do like a little pose a little bit wrong, the judges might not see that you've done anything wrong, although you might think mentally, oh my God, I did that wrong. It might not show at all. So it's just the pressure side of things. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And if you want to try my pageant, then great. Yeah, come on board and just give us a contact mainly.
Yeah, I think the key thing is just to enjoy yourself. That's what you're there for. I look at it like I'm there to grow. I'm there for me to grow.
It's all the experience.
And if I'm not enjoying it, I shouldn't be doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those. So I make myself enjoy it. I take the pressure off, and I'm the one who's backstage having a boogie like this.
I know.
Music, and everybody else is like,
I know. I'm serious.
Sorry. Life's too short to get so worried over things.
It is.
Just enjoy yourself. So last question, how do I enter? How do people enter your pageant?
You can pop onto the page on Facebook, Miss Britannia Crystal. You can contact myself or Rachel Chance. It's only £50 to enter. And then as soon as a minimum of the £25 deposit is paid, then I can send out a final sash to you at your disposal. So you can use it to fundraise. You can use it to do appearances if you like. Like I said, it's not compulsory, but it's entirely your choice completely. And
can you tell us the date of it again, please?
Saturday, the 3rd of July, 2021.
Woo! Exciting!
I know, 2021. It seems like
that's not far away now. You better get organising.
Oh, I am. I already know my list and my judges.
It's all done.
I just need to see the venue as to where I'm putting things, and everything's basically sorted. We just need the ladies and gentlemen to come up to apply.
Yeah, wonderful. Super. Well, thank you very much for talking to us. Really,
thank you for asking.
And hopefully you'll get a lot more people through the door because they're more informed and they know what they're looking at now and what they've got to do. So thank you very much. Give everybody a wave. Bye-bye, Donna. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.